Okay, I am back home. I'm here. I'm ready to go. I wanted to talk more about Lego Batman: The Legacy of the Dark Knight. I haven't covered a Lego game here on this channel, but it feels good to be talking about a brand new Batman game, and I honestly think that a lot of people who are fans of the Lego Batman games, they very much cross-pollinate with fans of Batman Arkham games. And thankfully, Lego Batman: Legacy of the Dark Knight has some similarities to the Arkham games, so let's talk about this game. Today, what we're gonna go over is all the confirmed suits and all the confirmed vehicles, Batmobiles if you will, for this game. I will note, there are alternate looks for Jim Gordon. There are some vehicles that Jim Gordon can drive around in as well. I'm not going to be going over those. I specifically want to talk about Batman here. Hit that thumbs up button if you're looking forward to this game, and once again, a huge shout out to WB Games for flying me out to Germany to attend Gamescom and get an early hands-on with Lego Batman: Legacy of the Dark Knight. And with that being said, let's jump into this. So the first suit, this is an obvious one. It is the base costume in the game. It is the one that you actually see on the key art for this game. For a little bit there were people that thought that that was like the Michael Keaton Batsuit, and that's going to be his base costume in the game. That is not the case, and I'll point out why. When we attended the early hands-on, thanks to WB Games, they gave us some Lego minifigures. One of them is of this guy right here, as you can see, and this is the base suit for Batman in the game. The other one was a keychain of this guy right here. This is the Lego Michael Keaton Batman figure. So if I hold them up side by side, you can see there are some key differences, specifically in the cowl there. Moving on though, the one that you actually saw most prominently in that reveal trailer for Lego Batman: Legacy of the Dark Knight, and the one that we actually started off using when we got our hands on with the game, was from the Robert Pattinson The Batman film. Looks pretty nice, but definitely not my favorite out of the ones that we got to choose from when we got our hands on. Moving on though, there is some Christopher Nolan Batman film love in this game, quite a bit actually, and one of the suits does represent that as well. We got the Dark Knight Batsuit in this game. To note, it is the one from The Dark Knight. It is not from Batman Begins. Those two suits are different, and in my personal opinion, I like the Batman Begins suit more, and I would love to see the Batman Begins suit in this game as well. At the very end of the reveal trailer for the game, we got a look at the first appearance Batsuit. It was mentioned that in order to get it, you just have to sign up for a WB Games account, and you'll unlock what they call the Golden Age suit. This is just one of my favorite Batman looks. I'm so glad that it's in the game. Obviously, those pointed ears look awesome. The purple gloves are there as well. It's fantastic. There is also a rainbow suit for Batman in this game. This does come from the comic books. It actually debuted in 1957, and it's appeared in multiple things since. I mean, you might remember that it was in Batman the Brave and the Bold animated series. Hey, speaking of which, the Batman Brave and the Bold blue suit is also in this game. I love the way the cowl looks on this costume. I think it translates so well in this game, and in general, I just love seeing Batman with a blue costume. I hope that when we get to the Batman Brave and the Bold movie, that he has like a bluer looking costume rather than the normal black and gray. No disrespect to the black and gray Batman, all right? I think that rocks as well, but I mean, the blue suit is just sweet. Now, we don't have any other officially confirmed suits for the game, but I mean, through plenty of interviews, the developers have basically confirmed that like every live action Batsuit will show up in this game probably. And there's just going to be like an insane number of alternate costumes to choose from for Batman specifically, and as well for some of the other characters that are going to be playable in the game. And although this isn't official confirmation that this suit is going to be in the game, people have spotted at the Gamescom booth for this game a life-size Lego Batman figure from Batman Forever. A special thanks to WB Games, we actually got the Batman Forever Batmobile from Lego. This thing is awesome. I cannot wait to build it. And I mean, now's a good time to kind of transition and talk about the Batmobiles that have been confirmed for this game. I mean, one of them is probably that Lego set I just showed you because, well, they gifted us it. But to accompany the Batman suit from the Robert Pattinson film, there's also the Batmobile from that film in this game. I will say it handles really well. It feels so sick to be driving around in that. But that's not all. The actual Batcycle, the bike that he rides around on in that movie, is also in this game. The handling on that one, pretty smooth as well. I think that's one of the faster ones to use, and it's a little tricky to drift with it, but I really dug driving around with that in Gotham. Then you have the Tumbler from the Dark Knight movies in there. I mentioned in my hands-on video that this one is actually a little difficult to bank corners with. It's just a heavy freaking vehicle. And those were the only three that we actually got to use, that we actually got to drive around in. But a lot of people who got their hands on with this game noticed that you can still scroll down and see some of the locked Batmobiles that aren't currently available, but you can actually see what their silhouettes are. And because we're all hardcore fans and we're crazy, some people have already confirmed for themselves what some of these Batmobiles are going to be, based on those silhouettes. One of them, immediately, if you're a fan of the animated series, you can tell it is the Batmobile from Batman the Animated Series. I am so glad that's going to be in the game. I cannot wait to use that. Another one is the Batpod from the Dark Knight movies. So, you know, when he separates from the Tumbler and he's riding around on that bike, that's also going to be in this game. And I was actually talking to some other creators. At one point, one of them mentioned that there was a silhouette that looked like it was maybe the Arkham Batmobile. But after having actually seen it for myself, I'm 99.9% positive that there is a silhouette in the game of the Arkham Knight Batmobile. I mean, Batman Arkham Knight is the first game that lets you really unleash the power of the Batmobile. So it just makes sense that this game, having all these different cars to drive, is going to have the one that comes from Arkham Knight. Although the Arkham Asylum one for me is the better of the two, so I really hope they have the Arkham Asylum Batmobile in this game as well. And then finally, there is a silhouette that looks like it is the BVS Batmobile, you know, the Ben Affleck's Batman. And that's interesting because a lot of people were thinking that maybe they just weren't going to do anything regarding those films from the DCEU because there was no mention of them or no hints towards them in the reveal trailer, while there were plenty of Easter eggs and mentions and references to the Batman or the Dark Knight film. But it looks like they're totally going to pay homage to BVS in some way, shape, or form, at least by having the Batmobile, and probably we're gonna get the suit as well. And don't quote me on this, okay? But when we were going to get our hands on, they showed us like a special presentation to get us ready for our demo with Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. And I could have swore that I saw the Michael Keaton Batmobile in that presentation. Even then though, like, even if that's not what I saw, I feel like you can make an extremely educated guess that that Batmobile is gonna be in this game based on every single other one we just went over. If they skipped that one, it would be actually insane. In that same area where they had the Batman Forever life-size Lego Batman figure, there was also plenty of other Lego Batmobile sets in the background that were on display. One of them was the Adam West Batmobile. Again, it doesn't necessarily confirm that it's going to be in the game, but I feel like you can really just guess that that's going to happen. Anything that was like a popular live action rendition of the character, or really just a live action rendition of the character in general, you can bet your batarang we're going to have a suit for that in the game, and we're probably going to get the Batmobile if that exists as well. So, you know, Adam West suit? Yeah, most likely. Adam West Batmobile? Probably also, yes. And while there were a lot of people at one point that thought maybe they're just not even going to acknowledge anything DCEU, I think you would be crazy to think that. Of course, there is going to be something for Batman vs. Superman, whether it's the Batmobile in the suit or even just some Easter eggs in the game. They're going to acknowledge it in some way. Even if it's not the most beloved version of the character, it's still extremely popular, and there still is a very large fan base for that interpretation. And that just about wraps up the video that I got for you guys here today. That is all the suits and all the Batmobiles that are officially confirmed so far for this game, as well as some of the ones that have been teased and some of the ones that we have already pretty much found out are going to be in the game based on some silhouettes that we saw in our demo. With that being said, let me now kick it to you guys. What's your favorite suit and what's your favorite Batmobile that's in this game so far? Sound off your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe if you're new. I am definitely going to be covering Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight leading up to its launch next year. And with that being said, I've been Caboose. I'll see you guys later.